Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to take a quick look here at Bitcoin really quick. Just kind of see what's going on from yesterday. It's changed a lot. Didn't pull back quite as far as we wanted to. But again, on the same accord, that doesn't always happen, right? You don't always get what you want. And of course, the entry at about 56K would have been nice. But at this point, we're at 57, holding true. It does look like we're starting to form somewhat of a bull pennant pattern. Which, keep in mind, bull pennant patterns, they're not super huge probabilities, but they do increase the odds of the price, continuing higher moving forward. So just know that's a possibility here. We're going to kind of pay attention to that and look at a few other key factors. And if you are new to the channel, I just ask you quickly hit the like button, comment below. Let's go ahead and get some back-end data pulled up here if we can, kind of see where we're at with liquidation data. While it's loading, I want to give you a quick heads up. We're partnered now with BTCC, just a secondary exchange option for you. If you're curious, link down below. Awesome benefit rewards. They have a really excellent campaign going on right now. Again, no KYC or VPN. That's the main reason why I'm recommending them, because we want to get some good options for our US Canadian members. Obviously, any other country can utilize them. They've been around for, 13 years now? They're like the oldest and longest running crypto exchange, very ethical. That's half the reason why we want to use them. Okay, so here's the thing. We got a lot of liquidation to the upside, not so much to the downside. Okay, so more potential or propensity for the price to go higher based on liquidation. Now again, when liquidation occurs in certain areas, it doesn't mean it's absolutely going to push that area. It actually implies there's more resistance there than you might think. It just also tells us, though, that there's, with the whales being whales, they're going to want to destroy some other people's accounts. Not specifically, it's not what they set out for, but it's just kind of the result of them being greedy, being able to push the price action to squeeze out the opposition, so to speak, and then they can pull back and go the opposite direction with it. So if we do see 59K tested, I would say shorting between 59 and 60K might be appropriate. That's basically what I was talking about yesterday too. Granted, Bitcoin has a lot of momentum, a lot of volume. You want to be careful shorting it. I'm frustrated a little bit with missing our short at about 58K. Unfortunately, I was out of the office at the moment and the price pulled back, doing what I wanted it to do. I didn't set a limit order, of course, and hindsight's 2020, but you don't really set limit orders with leverage in this market right now. So there's that too. Anyways, the whole point of this is that I think we still have a strong propensity for the price to increase rather than decrease, but we still got some fair value gap and some stuff to the downside we want to be kind of mindful of, okay? But it would make sense based on how the price action is holding right now that we would maybe see the price increase first before it pulls back. Again, just depends on how you look at it. We are honoring our Elliott wave here so far because, again, it does bounce off of 0.382 commonly, so that could very well be our new low, and we may just see the price continue further up here, okay? If it doesn't happen, then the secondary to that would be about 56,000, rough estimate, and then tertiary there would be roughly about 55.4. So 55,400 and just say 55.9 are the two potential other areas of retracement if the price doesn't hold this level at 56.4. Okay, so just kind of throwing it out there. Those are potential realities for us. Again, Elliott wave is consistently changing, which is both good and bad. Not a reason to use it solely. So if you're trusting others who are only ever using that, I would maybe consider some other options and just doing your own due diligence. It's helpful as a foundation, maybe as like a guide, but should never be the only reason to take a trade. Again, confirming factors are one thing, and macro Elliott wave, even micro Elliott wave is another, right? Fibonacci retracement is important, but it's not the only aspect of trading. So let's take a look here. At the daily time frame, recognize that we're still under 50 on the RSI. Generally, I wouldn't say bearish, it's not the right word for it. And we haven't really broken bullish yet either. Keep in mind, we're still in this transition, but we are above our descending trend line and we're establishing higher highs and higher lows. So that's actually a very good sign. It's just that every time Bitcoin has done this, it's pulled back and it's faked us out. So that's the only reason why I'm kind of apprehensive to say that we're bullish right now. We have some bullish qualities here for sure. Stochastic RSI swinging up, MACD on the horizon. We're seeing our TSI starting to increase, which is generally a favorable sign. And we've also closed above our local low here as far as, our more recent high at about 56,000. So it's tentative, but the likelihood of 56K being the bottom is pretty high, okay? So at this point here, we're looking pretty solid in the overall sense. Let's quickly double check our moving averages. We're going to be below all four, of course, but just know we're going to have some resistance coming up. There we go, right there at 59,000 or 58.8. The price continues higher. Right there where that liquidation level is at, that's roughly where the SMAs are hanging out, at least the bottom end of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the price continues higher. We just see an initial rejection at that 59 to 60K range, okay? those numbers keep popping up a lot, okay? So just something to be mindful of. We take a look here, of course, at the 4 hour, we're over the 50 and the 20-day SMA. The 50-day SMA holding like a champ there at about 56,200. Once more, we have a lot of confluence at 56,000, plus or minus a couple hundred, right? So we got this previous resistance, previous support, turned resistance, turned support right there at about 55.8. We got a key fib level here, that 0.5 fib, and then also, of course, some moving averages there. We can recognize, too, that we're over 50 in the RSI while it is tapering off and pulling back. Generally, that's always a favorable sign. Stochastic's trying to swing up here as well. Money flow index is still fairly high. Even though it's tapering off and pulling back, that doesn't mean too much considering the overall sense here. Everything else is truly bullish. So again, you want to pay attention to the money flow index. Usually when it crosses below the RSI, you may want to kind of pay closer attention. But for now, we're in good shape with everything here. TSI is looking pretty strong. MACD also still converging. Nothing is really showing us that we're due to see a massive pullback. Okay, looking at here, when we look at the the hourly, we've confirmed the 4 hour looks very bullish. We look at the Ichimoku cloud, we can confirm here we're above all moving averages. The cloud is consolidating between 0.5 and 0.382 fib, which is really awesome. It really reinforces the fact that we have a lot of support there. We can also see here lag and spans free and clear, conversion lines over the baseline. And we're looking to see another leg up here. It does feel like Bitcoin's going to break to the upside here shortly. Again, just based on this flag, sorry, I keep calling it flag. It's a pennant pattern there. Again, while it's not exact, they never truly are. It's something this we want to be mindful of, right? We want to just kind of pay attention to it and just kind of see if it's something that we might actually have play out. Once more, pennant patterns are lower success compared to other patterns, but with everything we have here combined, it seems to make sense that we're going to see the price action further, continue further higher. We got a lot of support here between 55.8 or 55.9 and 56,000 or 56.4. So this to me seems like a very heavy support range for us. And with extra liquidation of the upside, it makes a lot more sense for that to be the case. All right, so again, awesome stuff. Speaking of awesome, thanks again for the awesome feedback from my community. You guys have been excellent. Appreciate that. Yes, we took some nice profits from SUI and Cardano over the weekend. Obviously, that's old news now because that was a couple days ago. And we held off on taking a trade yesterday because every time I wanted to consider long for Bitcoin, it kept running. And then when it decided to pull back, I wasn't available to catch that short. So that's just how it's going to work, folks. Don't get frustrated when it happens to you. This is a very common thing. You can't just sit there in front of the charts all day long and catch every opportunity. Okay, even if you do sit there all day long, you're still gonna feel some FOMO because there's tons of stuff happening that you cannot catch. It just we're only human, right? So, anyways, work within your means. Try not to overdo yourself there. And at this point, the easy way to understand Bitcoin is that it still looks mostly bullish. There's nothing really bearish about it. When I mentioned yesterday that the fair value gaps are below the price action, that's very accurate and very relevant. So please understand if the price does pull back, it would make sense for us to get a wick into the 55K range to fill the CME gaps either on the hourly or the 4 hour time frame. So recognize those are still there. That's what I was considering a short into those levels. But at this point in hindsight, kind of glad we didn't short because the price is holding really strong in this range of 56.5 and 57K. So I think we're more likely to see the price increase at this point. It's looking pretty solid here. So that's kind of where we're at there. Statistical probabilities are high. Keep in mind, take profit targets between 59 and 60K is appropriate. That's probably the best consideration. I would say 58.6, 58.7, right there with that upper liquidation level is at, because oftentimes liquidation levels are swept and then the price pulls right back. So just a heads up on that. That's kind of where we're at there, folks. Hope this made sense. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.